When you flip a coin to make a decision, what problem are you actually solving? Procrastination, laziness, it's the weight of freedom. From the beginning of time, humans have been running from choice. When you didn't have a choice, life was easier. Not better by any means, just easier. Decisions were made for you. You fell into religion, class, geography, and this happens now. Then modernity kicks in, and then suddenly it's a full-time job to decide what to wear, what to buy, what to be. It's the classic tale going into the grocery store and looking at the toothpaste. What toothpaste is the best? Let me look on Amazon to see what is the best rated toothpaste. Let me look on TikTok to see the recommended toothpastes. Just pick a toothpaste. The reason why I'm talking about this is I came across a Instagram reel and it was talking about Michael Phelps, and he didn't have a morning routine. He had a system. His trainer scheduled everything. And this wasn't the thought that he's lazy, it's the thought that willpower is a depletable resource. Every single decision you make costs something. That's why going into the store, opening up your browser, looking to see what is the best reviewed thing depletes your willpower, depletes your energy. So if you pre-decide, you protect your tank. That's why when people build habits, they build in the time of the habit, the location of the habit, the feeling of the habit. They're not disciplined at that point. It's a mix between discipline and design. I don't talk about this much, but I've been journaling for years, about 13 years. I've done a whole bunch of methods in Ryder Carroll's bullet journal / a few other tweaks that I have. On one of his YouTube videos, there was a comment that was really interesting. There is a practice before you start your bullet journal, which is decide your intentions. Let me put this down. Decide your intentions for life. In one of the comments, a person said that they just had anxiety deciding what their intentions were. So even before starting, they stopped themselves. And I got it immediately because we're designed to think that choosing the wrong thing is catastrophic. But the question remains, who decided what was wrong? The reviews? And the fact remains that you will choose wrong. But that's not the problem. Choosing nothing is the problem. Because the reality is that choosing plants a stick in the ground, something relational. Now your next decision is relational to that stick. You iterate, you get closer to your truth. That's how it works. And that's when it dawned on me, you can't be a master generalist. We want to be everything: musicians, designers, creators, founders, and social media makes it look extremely achievable. But none of it's rooted in anything real. The practice has to come first, not the principle, the practice. That's the Saint Benedict thing that Oliver Burkeman talks about. The practice informs the principle, not the other way around. You can't design a life and say that you want to be a designer, musician, all these things, and not put in 1 ounce of practice. First you practice, you put a stick in the ground, then you slowly figure out your identity. I learned this the hard way, thinking I wanted to be a musician, but it took me forever to connect the dots because I had this idealized version of what it is to be a musician. I didn't anchor it in reality. Furthermore, I had to do the practice in order to figure out that it wasn't for me. And the practice was telling me something that the dream wasn't. And this is where digital minimalism hits different for me, the values part. Cal Newport's real point is that you need values driving every decision. A filter. For tech, for example, my filter is this supporting my growth or supplementing something I should do myself? I recently got off all my task management system, for example, and went back to bullet journaling, went back to field notes. That's why I ditched the Fitbit. The step data literally wasn't doing anything for me. It just was a cool number. It was just more noise, more freedom, more options, more distraction. The real work is subtraction. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Professor I had, Gary Leonard, would always say, just don't do it. Capitalism tells you you're good at everything, so you should do everything. So you should consume everything. So you should be everything. It's a loop that keeps you unanchored and frankly insecure. The more conscious move, the harder move is, here are the 2 to 3 things I really care about. Here are my values, and I'm going to live inside those. And ironically, it's not limitation. That's freedom in the actual sense of it. These videos aren't just content, they're proof of the practice. I'm doing the thing I'm talking about. You know, I've been wanting to do this for like 15 years here, and I am good for a week, not good for a week, not good for a month. Month turns to a year, but I'm here again. And my business has been going well, and the upward trajectory is not just the 4 months. It's the 10 years of practice finally speaking up. It's accumulation of what I've done into a single video.